Toastmaster of the evening. I think they're trying to recover from the yak. District Governor, leaders of the Toastmasters International from the region, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you very much for inviting me to be the featured speaker this evening, especially since in 6 days you'll be celebrating your 85th anniversary, and 85 years in anything is a long time. It's occurred to me that many things from the personal computer to Toastmasters International seem to have started either in a garage or a basement somewhere. And from a few persons in 1924 to 250,000 members and 12,000 clubs by 2009 is a magnificent achievement. I understand that we have Toastmasters from the Caribbean, from Jamaica in the north to Curacao. Curacao is okay, from Curacao in the north. I get this right though. To Suriname in the south. Guyana in the south. Nearly got it right. They're near us. And I want to welcome all of you to Barbados. Tonight, I believe, I get this right, it's Friday night. And when you leave here, I want you to take part in a Bajan happening, is my favorite, oysters fish fry. Best fish in the whole world. So go and enjoy it. Go and enjoy it. People come back to Barbados just for the fish fry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got to confess that when I was invited to speak to you this evening, I had a feeling of great honor, of massive trepidation, because I am fully aware of the high standards that Toastmasters attach to public speaking. And I've had, as Toastmasters evening indicated, speaking and Toastmastering, and speaking especially, is a learning experience, right? Yeah. I've had my experiences. I remember I was reminded tonight, one of my duties as Consul General, I had obviously go around make speeches, a lot of them were impromptu. And in Atlanta one night, there was a gathering of Barbadians who came to meet the Consul General. And after the requisite amount of drinks and music, obviously they wanted to hear from the Consul General. So, in the large living room, everybody gathered around, I started my speech. I thought it would be humorous. But as it went on, everybody was enjoying the speech. It was humorous, I think, and everybody was really animated. My wife was especially animated. And so I got into it, I really got into it. I became more animated. And at the end, there was a loud applause. I went back to my wife and I said, "That went over well, didn't it?" She said, "Yes, your fly was open." So I understand what that means. It's a learning experience. Thank God for podiums. I always try to make sure it's a podium where I'm But this evening, our theme is Triumph Through Teamwork. And I find this most appropriate for the times we live in, as we seek to grapple with the issues of Caribbean unity, global and regional recessions, economic recessions, managing our business, and sometimes even managing our families. But I'm convinced that these and many other problems we are facing can be solved or mitigated through the collective efforts of all of us working in our respective communities. Many of our problems seem huge and complex, and some of them are. Unfortunately, many of these problems are not being addressed because each one of us feels that alone we cannot make a difference. Truth is, we can. We can by making our individual contributions as a member of a team. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was very fortunate and honored to be part of a team that triumphed right here in Barbados. It was the early 90s, and Barbados was being faced with what was considered at that time the worst economic crisis that this small developing nation had faced up to that time. The economy was in a downward spiral and contracting. We faced the specter of serious job losses. We faced devaluation of our currency that was being suggested. The IMF was prescribing as a condition for aid a reduction in services, increases in bus fare, the change in pupil to teacher ratio in our schools, that's the one we hated most, a reduction of public work programs, just to name some of the medicine the IMF was recommending for our sick and ailing economy. Now, these were some bulky and bitter pills for us to swallow. But we're also aware of the severe side effects that had beset some of our sister Caribbean countries, like Jamaica, Trinidad, and Guyana, after they had taken IMF tablets. So during the period we are referencing, the movers and shakers of Barbados' economic and social life comprise three major players: the private sector, government, and the trade union movement. Now, these players each went about their business with the sole purpose of maximizing their own profits or power. Their working relationships was mainly adversarial and confrontational. And while there was some consultation, for the most part, everyone went along on their merry way doing their own thing. The first tripartite meeting called by the government to discuss the status of the economy and to seek solutions, it was agreed very early that Barbados would not be taking the medicine prescribed by any international agency, which we were convinced may reduce the symptoms, but would certainly cripple the patient. I'm sure that many of you have seen the television ads marketing some over-the-counter drug, sure to cure you of a particular medical problem, then in the same breath warn you of possible side effects, each one worse than your particular ailment. Take Xanafil for your headaches. Be sure to speak to your doctor before taking Xanafil. It's likely to lead to blindness in your right eye, shortness of your left foot. And some people have been known to die from Xanafil. So that's how the medicine was. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're seriously ill and the doctor prescribes a course of treatment and you decide not to follow it, then you had better have some alternative medication if you're to improve your health. So we wrote our own prescription. It was agreed that each sector had to present its own narrow program and subscribe to a common purpose and agenda. And the purpose we all owned was the preservation of Barbados' economy, values, and culture. Ladies and gentlemen, a team must have a common purpose or goal. In the presence of clearly defined goals, teams become able to do extraordinary things. So with a clear goal in mind, it was quickly realized that I had to become we, and that each sector had to be prepared to surrender something so that our common goal could be realized. Again, ladies and gentlemen, in excellent teams, individual sacrifices are often made for a universal good. The trade unions agreed to wage restraints. The private sector agreed to increase markups only if the increase was imported.